and expressly stated by the trial judge, a maintenance claim would have addressed the concerns of the father. And we should point out that it's the father's choice to bring this claim. He has a chance to bring this earlier under maintenance, but he chose not to. However, we are not in disagreement with that. But the appellant has failed to recognize the wider implications of imposing a duty of care. And moving on to my second point, the appellant argues that criminal law would have easily dealt with the problem, and by imposing a duty of care under the civil law of tort of negligence will not deter. However, the appellant here fails to recognize a group of mothers who will be affected, and this includes poor mothers.
But the law does not cater itself to the minority in that sense, right? If it's a very small group that is negligible, why do we concern ourselves with them?
Yes, Your Honor. However, in this case, I humbly submit that most mothers who are drug addicts, most of them, in fact the majority of them, as research shown, have fall under the lower hierarchy of the social status. So in this case, the tort law would have affected them, would serve as a deterrence against them.
Okay.
And moving on to the third point, on the point of abortion, the appellant here is mistaken again, because we are concerned with those who are willing to change. And indeed, as the Parliament has pointed out in the parliamentary debates, the government is willing to give a second chance to
Yeah, but in
the
that
youth.
parliamentary debate, did they say that while we embark, and you can answer this question, that while we embark on this education and counselling, we stop all other forms of deterrence? I don't think that is what Parliament has said.
Yes, Your Honor. It is true that education and counselling will go on no matter what.
And go hand in hand with whatever remedies that are already in place.
Yes, I agree that education and counselling will go hand in hand. However, the other branch, that of prenatal treatment, that will not proceed if a duty of care is being imposed, because if a duty of care is being imposed, mothers who are fearful of being embroiled in a lawsuit will not step forward to seek prenatal care. And even if they do, they may not reveal critical information about their drug usage, and this will affect ultimately the health of the child, Your Honor.
But in terms of liability, under civil law, it's not that the state or any Tom, Dick and Harry can raise the case. It has to be from the child. So I don't see how that would stop mothers from saying, oh, I took drugs to the doctor, because the doctor can't be the one who's instituting a claim or a case. It has to be the child. So in this case, it's quite clear, right? If you tell the doctor tell you not to do it, and then you still do it, and then in the end your child comes out in this state, then shouldn't the child have a remedy? It's entirely different from what you're contending.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, we must also recognize the nature of drug addiction, because these mothers, these pregnant drug addicts, they are taking drugs because even if they know of it, once they started on it, they need prenatal care to stop, to get rid of their addiction, and they cannot do so without help, Your Honors. And therefore, by imposing a duty of care, you deter them from seeking help and prenatal care, and this will in turn...
But this is the same group, and you can answer this as your final question. This is the same group of people who will not ask for help in any event. So are we actually preventing anything by imposing a duty of care?
Your Honor, it is respectfully submitted that there is still a sizable number of people who are reporting, because as stated from my earlier submissions, there still remain 8% of those in this category. Those 8% are still willing
In
to
terms
seek
of
help.
actual figures, how much would the 8% amount to?
From this is from a surveyed group done by the KK Women's and Children's Hospital. There's currently, as of now, there is no national information
I
done.
see. Okay.
And indeed, because of that, the court should be slow to impose a duty of care, because it's not certain that imposing a duty of care would actually help the situation. But in fact, from other jurisdictions, we see that by imposing a duty of care, you actually harm the child rather than protect the child, Your Honours.
Okay, point taken.
Thank you, Your Honour.
Thank you.